Hi, grade 6. In this video, we will revise together all the lessons of the second term and the most important questions about them. Let's start. First question complete. Wheelbarrow and nutcracker have the what between fulcrum and what? You have to think about it. Wheelbarrow and nutcracker, both of them are second class levers. So the second class lever has the resistance force between fulcrum and effort force. So the answer for the first space is what? It will be resistance force between fulcrum and effort force. Second point, number 2. The lever conserves effort when what arm is longer than what arm? We will say arm because it's longer, not larger. So the answer will be when the force arm is longer than the resistance arm. When the force arm is longer, this means that the effort force will be smaller than the resistance force. Number 2. Some levers allow the conservation of the what by means of using small force to move heavy load, like in the crowbar. Some levers allow the conservation of the effort force, save my effort, by means of using small force to move heavy load, which is resistance force. He means heavy load refers to resistance force, like in the crowbar. Number 4. The what class levers always don't conserve or save effort? It will be third class lever. All the third class levers don't conserve effort. Number 5. The flow of electric charges is called what? Electric current. Number 6. Materials that allow the electricity to flow through them are called what? Allow electricity to flow through. It's a good conductor of electricity or electric conductors. Number 7. Materials that don't allow electricity to flow through them. Yes, excellent. It will be electric insulators. Number 8. Placing flammable materials near to an electric heater leads to what? Think about it. Yes, it will lead to electric fire. Putting any flammable material near to electric heater that generates heat, it will lead to what? Yes, it will lead to electric fires. Number 9. We should place a piece of what in this electric socket? We should put a piece or place a piece of plastic. Number 10. We must not fix or clean any what while it's connected to what? We must not clean or fix any electric machine while it's connected to the electric current or electricity. Number 11. What is the result of an electric current passing through the human body? It will lead to what? It's what? The definition of electric shock. The passage of the electric current through the body or the human body, it will lead to electric shock. Number 12. The lighting of a light bulb doesn't change if they are connected in what? We have two ways to connect them. Number 1, series connection. Number 2, parallel connection. The parallel connection, true, is the only way of connection that the light bulb won't change by increasing their number. So the answer will be if they are connected in parallel connection or parallel way. Number 13. The only type of levers where the force arm and the resistance arm are equal is through the first class lever. First class lever, it is the only kind of levers where we can find the two arms are equal. Number 14. Light bulb. Light bulb consists of what? Made of what? Number 1, the base of the bulb. Number 2, super tungsten filament. Tungsten filament. Number 15. The filament of a light bulb is made of what? Made up of tungsten because it has what? A high melting point. It won't melt easily. Number 16. There are two types of lamp bases. What base and what base? We talked about two bases. Number one, spiral base. Number two, two side nails. So we have two kind of bases. Number one, spiral base. Number two, two side nails. Number 17. The glass bulb of an electric lamp prevents what from reaching to what? You have to think first. Why we need the glass bulb? What is the function of the glass bulb? Yes, it prevents oxygen. So the first space will be oxygen or air from reaching to the tungsten filament. Okay, to prevent its melting. Number 18. The inner surface of the fluorescent lamp tube is covered with what material? Phosphoric material. Phosphoric material help the fluorescent lamp to have a bright light. Number 19. Root hairs extend from the what and are lined inside the inside of it with a thin layer of what? Root hairs, as we said before, extend from the epidermis layer or external epidermis layer, and they are lined from inside with a thin layer made up of what? Of cytoplasm. Number 20. The root hairs have a big what that contains what solution? Root hairs have a big vacuole that contains salty solution. 21. Each stoma is surrounded by what cells? Two guard cells. Super. Guard cells control opening and closing stomata. Number 22. The what in the plant is surrounded by two guard cells. The stomata or the stoma in the plant is surrounded by two guard cells. Second question, write scientific term. Type of levers where the effort arm is always longer than the resistance arm. So we have to think together. When the force arm or effort arm is longer than the resistance, so the effort force will be smaller than the resistance force. So it will be second class lever. When we find that the effort is smaller than the resistance force, this means it will be second class lever. Number 2. Type of levers that doesn't save effort. Yes, third class lever. Number 3. Levers that have resistance between the force and fixed point. Second class lever. Second class lever, we can find the resistance force is always between effort force and fixed point. Number 4. An inert gas used in the electric lamps. It will be argon gas. Number 5. A coiled thin wire from tungsten in the light bulbs. It will be filament. The answer will be filament. Number 6. A form of energy that is used in operating or make the machines work. Some machines, such as televisions and washing machines. It will be electric energy. Number 7. One of the dangers of electricity that occurs or happens as a result of the passage of the electric current through the human body. Yes, super. It will be electric shock. When we see the passage of electric current through the body, it will be electric shock. 8. It is a closed and continuous path through which the electric current will pass and make a cycle or complete cycle. It will be what? Yes, simple electric circuit. Number 9. The harmful rays emitted or produced from the sun during the solar eclipse. It will be infrared and ultraviolet. Infrared and ultraviolet rays. 10. The moon's faint outer shadow. It will be penumbra of the moon. Penumbra of the moon. 11. The area in which the partial solar eclipse appears. We can see the partial solar eclipse in the penumbra shadow. It will be penumbra. 12. The vital process by which the green plants make their own food. Yes, photosynthesis process. It is a process by which the green plants can make their own food. 13. A structure that extends from the root wall to absorb water from the soil. Think about it. Yes, root hair. 14. The root layer where the root hairs extend, it will be epidermis layer. 15. The two cells that surround the leaf stoma, it will be two guard cells. Openings through which the plant undergoes the transpiration process, it will be stomata. Stomata, they are the openings by which the green plants can make the transpiration process. Third question, give reason. The wheelbarrow is a lever. Why? Think about it. Because it's a rigid bar that rotates around fulcrum and affected by effort force and resistance force. Number 2, the crowbar or second class lever conserves effort. Crowbar, it's a first class lever, but it can conserve effort. Why? Because they have the resistance arm is shorter than the force arm, and the resistance force is larger than the effort force. Number 3, hockey pad and fishing tools are third class levers. The answer will be the definition of third class lever, because they have the effort force between fulcrum and resistance. Number 4, the glass bulb in the light bulb is filled with inert argon gas. The answer will be because it doesn't burn or help in burning. Number 5, the light bulbs are connected in parallel in houses, because if any bulb was disconnected, the other lamps will light. The other lamp won't be affected. And also, if we increased the number of connected light bulbs, the light intensity of the light bulbs won't change, doesn't change, remain as it is. 6. The distance between moon and earth varies. Why? Yes, because the moon rotates around earth in oval orbit. Number 7. Babylonians had a great role in observing space, because they were able to predict the occurrence of solar and lunar eclipse before their occurrence by 2 years. It was easy for them to predict the rotation of Earth around Sun and the rotation of Moon around Earth. 8. No annular lunar eclipse is formed like the annular solar eclipse. Why? Because Earth had a greater size, much bigger than the Moon, so it can block all the sunlight from the Moon's surface. Number 9. The wall of the root hair is thin. Why? Because it allowed the passage of water and mineral salts from the soil to it. Number 10. Root hairs secrete sticky matter or substance. Why? To help it to penetrate or to move between the soil particles. Number 11. The concentration of salty solution in the root hairs vacuole is higher than the concentration of soil solution. As we said before, the high concentration of salts means what? Low concentration of water. And the low concentration of salts means high concentration of water. So the water will move from the soil, which has higher concentration of water and low concentration of salts, to the root vacuole or root hair vacuole, which has lower concentration of water and high concentration of salts. In general, the answer will be to allow the water to move from the soil to the root hair vacuole. Fourth question. Rearrange the following steps to explain the transmission and rising of water and mineral salts. Let's read them all together. Mineral salts are transmitted from the soil to the root hairs by selective permeability, and water is transmitted from the soil by osmosis process. Number 2. Xylem rises the juice to reach the stem and other parts of the plants as leaves and flowers. The transmission of water and salts from endoderms to xylem. The transmission of water and mineral salts from epidermis to cortex. How can we arrange them? We have to think together. First, the first sentence is the first one. Why? Because mineral salts are transmitted from the soil to the root hairs by selective permeability, and water is transmitted from the soil by osmosis process. Okay, it will be the first one. Okay, how can the water and mineral salts pass from the root hairs to the root, to the internal structure of the root? Yes, super. It will be last one. Last one, the transmission of water and mineral salts from the epidermis, external epidermis, the outer layer of roots, to the cortex layer. Okay, then yes, it will be the second, it will be what? Sorry, the third sentence. What will happen? The transmission of water and salts from the endoderms, the inner layer or the last row of cells of cortex layer. It will allow the transmission of water to what? To the xylem. Okay, first sentence, it will be the first one. Last one, it will be the second one. And the third one will be the third one. And last one, it will be xylem. Xylem rises the juice to reach the stem and the other parts of the plant, such as what? Leaves and flowers. So the arrangement, again, it will be the first sentence, it will be the first one. Last one, it will be the second one. And the third one, which is transmission of water and salts to from endoderms to the xylem, it will be the third one. And the last one, when the xylem rises the juice to reach the stem and the other parts of the plant, such as leaves and other flowers. Fifth question, what happens? Number 1, the force arm is longer than the resistance arm in any lever. We will understand automatically that the effort force is smaller than the resistance force, as there is a relation or inversed relation between the force and its arm. So when I tell you the force arm is longer than the resistance arm, automatically we will understand that the effort force is smaller than the resistance. So we can write that this lever saves effort. This lever saves effort. Number 2, the moon comes in a higher orbit from the earth, or earth lies in the anti-ampera shadow of the moon. So we can say annular solar eclipse will happen. Number 3, placing electric heater that generates heat near to a flammable material. What is the meaning of flammable material? Materials which can be burned easily, which will burn easily. So what will happen? It will cause electric fire. Number 4, the 2 guard cells of a stoma cannot change their shape, so it cannot control the opening and closing the stoma. 5th point, there is no stomata in the plant leaves, so the plant leaves cannot make the transpiration process or get rid of the excess of water. Question number 6, problems. All you need to remember, you have to write the law. Don't forget it. Okay? The exerted force means effort force. So if I told you in number 1, the exerted force of a first class lever is 500 newtons, you have to know that the exerted force is effort force. And the length of its arm equal 20 centimeters, so the force arm equal 20 centimeters. And it's affected by a resistance equals to 200 newtons. Find the resistance arm. First we will write the law. We will compensate each physical quantity by its number, and we will find that the resistance arm equal 5 centimeters. So easy. Number 2, he is telling you the force arm length of a first class lever is 5 centimeters, and the length of the resistance arm or arm of resistance is 15 centimeters. If you know that the value of resistance equals 300 newtons, calculate the value of the affecting forces or exerted forces or effort force. So first we have to write the law of levers, and we will compensate. we will find that the effort force is 900 newtons. 900 newtons. Best luck. Question number 7. Look at the opposite figure, then answer. Number 1. Label the figure. Number 1 will be point number 1. Yes, refer to the sun. 2. The moon. 3. Ampera, shadow of moon. Number 4. Pin ampera. Number 5. And ampera shadow. Mention the type of the solar eclipse occurs at B and C. At B we can find and ampera shadow. Yes, it will be annular solar eclipse. At C we can find pin ampera shadow, where we can find what partial solar eclipse will happen. Question number 8. Look at the opposite figures that show the structure of stomata. Number 1. Label the figures. Number 1 refers to what? Yes, to guard cells, while number 2 refers to the thick inner walls of stoma. Mention figure A represents what? Figure A represents what? Closed stoma, while figure B represents what? Opened stoma. Study hard, do your best. I wish you all the best of luck.